कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतानः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वृषभं च शनीनां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यं बृहस्पतिं वरेण्यम्। ॐ तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवीव चक्षुराततम्। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं ज्योतिर्ब्राह्माय नमः। Can everyone say Hare Ram Krishna 3 times? Om Hare Rama Krishna Hare Rama Krishna Hare Rama Krishna. Om Parasaraya Namaha 3 times. Om Parasaraya Namaha. Om Parasaraya Namaha. Om Parasaraya Namaha. Om Ghri Surya Aditya Om 3 times. Om Ghri Surya Aditya Om. Om Ghri Surya Aditya Om. Om Ghri Surya Aditya Om. Do you have any chart, any example chart that we can see?
We have. Do you have any? Okay. If you want to give, you can give, otherwise I can give.
Please go.
Okay. Nityananda and Vijaychitra. Do you have any chart?
Sheshi is trying to be nice because he got his turn earlier. He wants to see if somebody else wants a turn. Go ahead.
I'm always nice, right?
Go ahead.
This is August 27,
August 27,
1977.
1977.
10:10 p.m.
10:10 p.m.
Secunderabad, India.
Secunderabad. Male or female?
Male. And you can save it as RKG.
Male or female? I didn't listen.
Male.
Male, okay. RKG.
RKG.
Class.
And
Issues example. Okay. So what do we know about this person and what do we want to know? What is already known and what is to be found out?
we don't know much about the person, but I know what he wants to know is, he wants to know if he will be traveling back to India from USA for good.
She will be going back to India. Okay.
India soon.
Do we know when he came here? Don't. Okay. In general, in future, when somebody wants to find out something, get a few details. Like if you know that he is here, when he came here, when he got married, 2 or 3 events, so that we can verify the time. The time is off.
No point.
Will be off. Okay. So we'll assume that time is right and see it. So wants to know if he will be going back to India anytime soon.
And if there are any changes in his job at the present time. He has a job now. He is not out of job.
Yeah.
But he seems to be looking for some changes, and he wants to know if those changes are going to happen.
Has a job but wants a change.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what I did is I set the timing settings to author recommended, and then I looked at D10, Shothari with D10 and all that.
Okay.
But wasn't very comfortable looking what it was from all 3 references.
Bottom line is there is some concern about the job right now. Even though he has a job, the fact that he is looking for a change means that there is some instability or some discomfort with the job. Some dissatisfaction or discomfort with the job. Some nervousness for whatever reason.
And maybe he is thinking of going back to India and take a job with him from here to work from there. That's the kind of thing I am thinking.
I see. So this company he is working for, it is possible to work from India. They have a branch there or something. So I see. Okay. Good. First let us see going back to India. Lagna is at 17 degrees in 72 degrees 52 minutes Aries. So it is.
And the one data that I have is he has a child in 22nd August 2009.
August 2009.
Yeah.
Okay. First child or second child?
Only child.
Only child. Yeah. Only child, boy or girl?
It is Rohan, so it is boy.
Only child, a son, Rohan. Born on 22nd August 2009. Okay, so one event we have. And we know that he is at this point of time in US. So we have basically, we don't know when he came, but we know that he is in US. So two things are there. First let us see the child. First let us, basically we want to see if the time is reasonable or there is some growth error, like maybe the day is off or...
Can you repeat the date of birth and time?
Yes, 1977, August 27, 10:10 p.m. Indian Standard Time, 5 hours 30 minutes east of GMT, Secunderabad, India, 78 degree 30 minutes east, 17 degree 27 minutes north. To make a pie chart of all the birthplaces of people whose charts we see in the class, Secunderabad will have a big pie. It will be like 70%.
I don't think so.
Because all the charts that you bring are Secunderabad charts.
They happen to be so. I don't know this person, otherwise he just came and it happened.
Probably you're popular there, maybe just anonymously sending you the data.
So let us see the Saptamsa. How much leeway do we have in Saptamsa? Let us see. When will Lagna change in D7? 2 minutes 31 seconds earlier it will change, 12 minutes 32 seconds later it will change. So the leeway we have is basically 12 minutes is, that kind of error is unlikely, but 2.5 minutes backwards is possible. They said 10:10, it may be instead of 10:10, 10:07 or 10:07:20. That is definitely possible.
You
Up
got
to 5 minutes of error.
3 minutes 29 seconds earlier. 3 minutes 29 seconds earlier.
D7 law.
D7. Yeah.
D7 law is 3 minutes 29 seconds earlier, right?
2 minutes.
2 minutes 31 seconds.
Then
Last time you told me that you have 7.51 beta.
no, I
2.
uploaded. Maybe
You are still using the same thing, right?
no, I have right now 7.52 beta.
Yeah.
Beta 2.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah, 7.52. Yeah.
I didn't set the I recommended by author.
Yeah. Preferences related to calculations. The last one, set calculation options as recommended by author. And then the data is 10:10 p.m. right? RKG. So let us see if Cancer makes more sense or Leo as the Lagna in the Saptamsa chart. Let us go to the D7 Vimshotri Dasha. If you go to D7 Vimshotri Dasha, what is the Dasha that gave a child?
2009
Rahu.
Yeah.
Rahu Venus.
Yes.
Ketu.
It is Rahu, Ketu or Venus. Date is 22nd.
Border of Ketu and Venus.
Yeah, Ketu.
It was basically one day off, so you can't assume that this is accurate. It will 1/10 of a second error, it will be the other one. So we don't know if it's Rahu Ketu or Rahu Venus, but one of the two. So it's on the border of Rahu Ketu and Rahu Venus. That is when the event was given, and this is based on the Vimshati Dasha. Now, are there any special conditional dashas applicable? Lagna is at 5 degree Leo, right?
Do you want to see the conditional results when we are looking at this SSS with this way?
Yes, we want to see either the most applicable conditional dasha or Vimshotri dasha. We just want to basically keep them handy, and then we'll see which one is making more sense. Now, okay. Are there any conditional dashas applicable? 10th Lord in 10th, no. Lagna Lord in 7th, no. 7th Lord in Lagna, no. Lagna in Vargottama, no. Lagna in Lagna having Sun, no. So, are there any conditional Lagna Lord and Rahu in mutual Kendra Konas? Is that happening? No.
No.
So, are there any special conditional dashas that are applicable?
Odd sign first half.
Yeah. So this is Artha in first house. So this is Sun Hora and this was Shukla Paksha. Sun Hora Shukla Paksha is Shodasotri. So Shodasotri Dasha applies based on the traditional classical rules. So there are two ways we can look at it, Vimshotri and Shodasotri. Based on Shodasotri, what is the period that gave childbirth?
Venus.
Venus. The Antardasha was Venus Sun. So Venus Sun gave childbirth, and based on the other approach, it is either Rahu Ketu or Rahu Venus. Okay. Now let us just use the Vimshotri and see if we can make sense. Forget about Lagna. Does it make sense using Sun and Moon? Because what we do is we take Sun, Moon and Lagna, the three as the references as Parasara taught. So from Sun, Rahu is the fifth lord. Right? Sun is in Libra, Rahu is the fifth lord. Fifth house is the house of child. So he is the lord of the house of children. From Moon, does he have any link with the fifth house? From Moon. Well, he has two links. Why do you say no? There are two links.
In the sense, you are taking D7, right?
Yeah, D7. D7, Moon is in Capricorn.
Moon, he is aspecting the house.
Yeah, the fifth house is Taurus. Rahu is aspecting it. He is aspecting the fifth house. So he is the fifth lord from Sun. From Moon, he is aspecting the fifth house. Not only that, there is another link with the fifth house. Can you find it? There is another link between the fifth house and Rahu. From Moon. Between Taurus and
Lord
Rahu.
is in Rahu's
Exactly. Lord Venus is in Rahu's house. So Rahu is the owner of the house where fifth lord is placed, and he is aspecting the fifth house. So from Sun and Moon, Rahu has a strong influence on the fifth house. Okay?
But from Sun, he is placed in the 12th.
Yeah, that's
Would that not be a depletion of that?
no, but
The fifth lord in 12th.
Well, not necessarily. For Rahu, being in the 12th house is not really a bad placement. The key thing is, see, fifth lord in the 12th house is not a great placement. I do agree. But the thing is, in Kanya, Rahu is well placed. Kanya is a good placement for him to be. And especially when we are using Sun, Moon and Lagna, all the three references, what we see is, any planet having a link with the three houses from the house from the three references, that planet becomes capable of giving that result, even if he is placed in the 8th house or even if he is placed in the 12th house, because there aren't too many planets who are connected with all three. Now, from Moon, of course, he is placed in the 9th house. You may call that good placement, but the thing is that is actually Manakarka Sthana for Rahu. So the thing is, the judgment of whether he is well placed or not, it is a dicey thing. But the thing is, from the fifth house point of view, when you are talking about child, from the fifth house point of view, a planet in the 9th house aspecting fifth house is beneficial. Now from Lagna, does he have any link with the fifth house? Does he aspect the fifth house? Not really. Does he occupy the fifth house? No. Is he with the fifth lord? No. Is he aspecting fifth lord? No. Does he disposit the fifth lord? No. He doesn't really have a link with the fifth house. So it doesn't really make that great a sense. Now,
Fifth lord is aspecting, from Lagna, fifth lord is aspecting Rahu's house.
yeah, but Rahu's house doesn't matter. Rahu should have a link. So if somebody aspects Rahu's house, then Rahu doesn't have a link with that planet. It has to be a link established by Rahu. So, on the other hand, suppose Lagna was Cancer. Suppose Lagna was Cancer. Then what? Tell me.
the fifth lord becomes Ketu and Rahu always.
Yeah, fifth lord is then Ketu. And Rahu is aspecting him. So, Rahu is basically aspecting the fifth lord. So from Lagna he is aspecting the fifth lord. From Sun he is the fifth lord. From Moon he is the disposed of the fifth lord and aspecting fifth. So has a link with the fifth house based on all the three. So this suggests that there is a little bit of error in the time. Okay. Now let's go to Chaturthamsha.
Should we rectify it, sir?
We will take a little time. Let's go to
How
D4.
we justify the error, sir? Because both are giving.
But from
From Lagna, what I said is, from Lagna,
that was making more sense.
Rahu Dasha gave a child, right? And Rahu doesn't really have much to do with the 5th house from Lagna. If you take Simha Lagna.
For me it is coming. Venus, Rahu.
Venus, Rahu, I moved to the other one.
What? Vimshottari Dasha, Venus Rahu? No. Rahu Dasha is from 98 to 2015
Right.
of D7. You are looking at the Vimshottari Dasha of D7, right?
Oh, I went to Shodashatri, that's why.
Okay. Shodashatri also is not Venus Rahu, it is Venus.
Venus only, yeah.
Yeah. So if you use Shodashatri Dasha, if you use the Shodashatri Dasha, then the Dasha that gave a child is Venus.
Venus, yeah.
Right? So the thing is, what I said in the last class was, if you use all the 3 references and see what is common between them, even without using conditional dasas, just using plain Vimshottari all the time, things are making pretty good sense. So that was basically one conclusion. But the thing is, even conditional dasas should have some indication. They should be indicating the event. Now, the Venus dasha, when Rahu dasha was running based on one method, Venus dasha was running based on the other method. Can Venus give a child?
Now we will assume that the Lagna is in Cancer, sir.
Yeah. If you assume that Lagna is Cancer, can Venus give a child? Okay, Venus gives childbirth.
Why Lagna? Oh, you want to take Lagna as Cancer?
We basically, if we take it in Cancer, we could explain it based on Vimshottari Dasha.
Yeah, with respect to Sun, he is in the 5th house.
With respect to Sun, Venus is in the 5th house.
With respect to Moon, he is the 5th Lord.
With respect to Moon, he is the 5th Lord, right?
And
With respect to Lagna, this makes more sense. The Leo makes more sense because he is.
why?
Why?
He's right
Yeah,
in
no,
the-
he has no connection with the 5th house. So Lagna, Leo has no, except for the fact that he's looking at Jupiter, which is the 5th Lord.
He's aspecting the 5th Lord.
Would Jupiter-Venus combination? I mean,
Right. He's aspecting the 5th Lord, but the thing is, 5th Lord is not necessarily an enemy, a friend of his. He's aspecting an enemy. Compared to Rahu aspecting Ketu, Venus aspecting Jupiter doesn't really make him give Jupiter's results.
So if you take,
yeah.
if you take Cancer, then
Yeah.
Cancer Venus is in the 8th house.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for Sun, Moon and
Yeah, those two are looking good, but the third difference from ascendant is not making much.
Right. So we will leave it. Basically, what I found in many charts like this is, when I use the conditional dasha, that was basically earlier we were using. If we use the conditional dashas, when we try to use the Sudarshan Chakra, they may or may not be making sense. So we will basically, when we are using to answer the question that you asked at the beginning, we will be verifying both conditional dasha and Vimshottari. But what I find is Vimshottari dasha seems to be working pretty consistently if we use the Sudarshan Chakra instead of just Lagna. So we will basically take the time as let's say 10:07:15. It could be a little earlier also, but basically this will put it in Cancer Saptamsa. Now, the next thing I want to do is, you don't know anything about the child's chart, right?
I know child's data, but I don't know about it.
Okay. Let us verify the child's chart, see if Jupiter is a strong planet, Jupiter or Sun are strong planets in the child's chart. Because the thing is, if this is Lagna, the 5th house backward should be Pisces, owned by Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Sun sign. So Jupiter, Sun, they should be strong in the Sun's chart. Now go to Chaturthamsa, because we know that he is abroad right now. How much leeway do we have? 7 minutes backwards, 19 minutes forward. So we have plenty of leeway. Even after subtracting 2.5 minutes, we have another 7 minutes of leeway. So in general, you expect in higher divisional charts like lower divisional charts like D4, with smaller number, usually unless you are close to a border, there will be a lot of leeway. So hopefully this is accurate. Now, is this the chart of somebody who settles abroad, or is this the chart of somebody who will stay in the motherland. Forget about dashas, basically, statically, what do you see? We'll see Vimshati Dasha later, but just statically.
His fifth lord is Rahu, which is placed in the ninth house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
And also seventh lord Mars is in the ninth house. So Mars Rahu combination is in the ninth house from Lagna as well as Chandra Lagna. From Surya Lagna, how is it? From Surya Lagna, the ninth lord moon is in the 12th house. The 12th lord Venus is in the ninth house. So from Surya Lagna, 9th and 12th have a parivartana. So basically 9th house is becoming very strong, right? And even from, and by the way, moon is also the Badhaka lord. So the 9th lord and the Badhaka lord is in the 12th house, and the 12th lord is in 9th house and Badhaka sthana. So there is a clear link between the 9th, 12th and Badhaka sthanas, right?
You are looking at D4, right? D4.
Yeah, D4. So from sun, I was saying, from sun, the 9th lord and Badhaka lord moon is in 12th. And the 12th lord Venus is in Badhaka sthana as well as 9th. And if you see from Lagna, the 9th house contains Rahu Karaka as well as 7th lord. And the 9th and 12th lord Mercury, he is with the Badhaka lord sun. So there is a strong confluence of Badhaka sthana, 9th house and 12th house from all the three differences. So this strongly suggests somebody who lives abroad for most of the life. So, without looking at the dashas, basically, you will expect that this person will probably live abroad for most of his life. Very unlikely to go back. But we'll see the dashas to see. Maybe there is a dasha that is conducive right now for going back.
So, if the Lagna, this particular chart is strong, that means the person will stay native or person will stay comfortably? Because Chaturthamsha can be, person can be...
Chaturthamsha, Lagna strong, meaning the person will have very good house and he will be very happy with the house. But the thing is, we are not seeing the strength of Lagna here. What we are seeing is the 9th, 12th and Badhaka are dominating, and there is a linking of those houses.
That means you will not be comfortable with the...
Not necessarily, it's not a matter of comfort. Badhaka shows big changes, and the 9th and 12th houses show flourishing abroad. 12th house shows big change of place, away from where he is born. And the 9th house shows flourishing in a faraway land. So when there is a link between 9th, 12th and Badhaka sthanas, it shows somebody who flourishes in a faraway land, in a foreign culture, away from where he is born. So that is why we are saying. And in many charts we have seen that there is a strong link between.
I got only, you were looking when he can travel, means 9th house, you were
seeing
that link between I got that point.
Yeah.
But one thing is
Whereas,
not only from settling down abroad, like person has to be strong enough to whether he can settle down there.
Right, that is what I am saying. With Mars Rahu combination in the 9th house from Lagna, and from Surya Lagna, the 9th and 12th Parivartana, and also the Badhaka Lord's involvement from all, this is very likely a chart statically, irrespective of Dasha. This is a chart that basically lives abroad for a long time.
But how about Saturn is also strong looking at the, is a fifth lord. No, he's a second from fourth, so fifth can take him back home.
Yes, if when Saturn becomes really dominant, there is a chance of going back. But the thing is, the fifth lord Saturn is debilitated. The fifth lord of patriotism, Saturn, is actually debilitated even though he is aspecting Lagna. And moreover, he is in the 7th house of long travels. So all it can show is occasionally every couple of years having a long travel back to the motherland. It need not necessarily show the person going back and staying. Because basically, based on classical rules, the fifth lord is not strong. He is basically debilitated.
You can say one thing that because his Lagna Lord is in the 9th house and the 9th Lord is in the...
Lagna Lord is in the
10th house.
10th house.
I mean, and the 10th Lord is in the Lagna. It's a good... with respect to Lagna also, it's actually a good thing.
Right.
So wherever he is, he'll be fine.
Yeah. One thing you can say is with the Parivartana between Lagna Lord and 10th Lord, it shows predominance of career basically. 10th house is career. Predominance of career on the attitude of the person. Of course, relating to this area of life. This is a chart dedicated to residence. This is not a chart of children or wife or other things. D4 is a chart of residence.
So you will be working on getting settled down.
No, what I mean is, in the chart of residence, The 10th house and Lagna have a Parivartana. So 10th Lord is in Lagna, which means his attitude, his mind will be focused on career. So the thing is, all these changes of residence, going abroad or going to, leaving one town and going to another town, everything is driven by career basically. His residence is driven by career. It's not like, I love living in Kansas or maybe whatever, Florida, let me go and live there. It's not like that. There's a good job in New Jersey, let me go and live in New Jersey. There's a good job in Texas, let me go and live in Texas. Basically, it is driven by career. Because 10th Lord is the central planet.
So you love to work from home. All the time.
Now,
Rahu Dasa running right now.
okay, Vimshottari D4. What is the Dasa running right now?
I'm sorry, sir.
Vimshottari D4.
Saturn Dasa.
Shani Dasa running right now.
Shani Venus.
Yeah. Now, Shani, as we said earlier, Shani is Yogakaraka, so he gives lot of fortune. And though he is the 5th Lord, based on his logic, 5th Lord basically taking back, because he is debilitated, that is unlikely. And secondly, being Yogakaraka, he gives fortune. What is perceived by the world as fortune in the matter of residence. Basically, when he came to US, people may say, oh, he's very lucky. Of course, it may need be luck that he came to US. So basically, being Yogakaraka, Saturn gives fortune. And being in the 7th house, he gives long travels. And aspecting the 9th house, he aspects the 9th house, right? Saturn has an aspect on the 9th house. So he makes him settle down abroad. A Yogakaraka aspecting the 9th house, aspecting Rahu in the 9th house. So Saturn Dasa is conducive to being abroad. And in my judgment, Saturn, even though he has little chance being the 5th Lord of taking back to the motherland, it is unlikely unless the Antardasa is conducive. What is the Antardasa running right now? Venus. Can Venus take this person abroad? I mean, take this person back to the motherland? Well, not exactly. Even though from Lagna and Moon, Venus is the 10th Lord, right? From Sun, he is basically the 12th Lord in the 9th house. He is the 12th Lord in the 9th house, right?
Right.
And even from Lagna, even though he is in the 10th house, he has Argala on the 9th house and Argala on the 12th house. Moreover, he is in a trine from the 9th and 12th Lord. See, when two planets are in mutual trines, this is the other thing that you can consider. When two planets are in mutual trines, they basically benefit each other's agenda, especially if they are friends. If they are enemies, they may not work together. So, Venus and Mercury are in mutual trines. Of course, Sun is also in mutual trines, but Sun and Venus may not cooperate. But Mercury and Venus are very good friends. So, Venus is having Argala on the 9th and 12th houses and is in a trine from the 9th and 12th Lord. So, he is conducive to 9th and 12th even from Lagna and Moon. And of course, from Sun, there is no need to explain anything. He is the 12th Lord in the 9th house. So, based on all the differences, Venus is having a link with the 9th and 12th houses. So, it is unlikely that Venus period will take him back to the motherland. So, in the near future, in the next 6 months, I don't see any such possibility. What about Sun period? Sun from the Lagna and Moon. By the way, one rule of Parashara is when Lagna or Moon are together or Lagna or Sun are together, you give more weightage to that. If two of the three references are together. So you can give a lot of weightage to Libra here. So from Libra, Sun is the Bhagaka Lord. So he is with the 9th and 12th Lord. Can he? Bhagaka Lord, and he is with the 9th and 12th Lord. Can he take the person back to the motherland? No. Very, very, very unlikely. Even Venus has some chance, but Sun has practically no chance. What about Moon? Well, from Sun he is a strong giver of foreign residence, but from Lagna itself, if you see, how is Moon? He is basically the 10th Lord, but he is in Lagna. Lagna can also show going back to the motherland. So there is some chance in Moon period, but I don't see any possibility till 2013 February also. In 2013 there is some chance. Again, not really a strong chance. some chance. If he really wants to consider, that is the period. But then again, after that, Mars and Rahu will come. Very unlikely. Even if he goes, it will be like for 6 months and then he will be back here. So, bottom line is, I will really, this is the chart of somebody who stays abroad. So my advice would be, my prediction would be that it's unlikely that he will go back to the motherland. If at all, there is some chance in 2013, 2014, in the moon under the chart. That too is like 30-35% kind of chance. It's not a 100% chance. It's a very small chance. So unfortunately, my answer is no to the first question, whether he will go back to the motherland. Very unlikely, it seems like. And then any change in the job right now. How is the job, let us see. Let's go to D10. How much leeway do we have? 7 minutes 11 seconds backward or 3 minutes 13 seconds forward. So let us basically assume that the time is accurate and make D10 Vishwatri Dasha. And do you know what he does for living? Is he a software engineer?
He is in software, but I don't know what he is.
Okay, but he is in software.
Yeah.
Okay, does it make sense, guys? Being in software? From Lagna, even though 10th house contains Mars, the 10th Lord is aspecting 10th house. Moreover, the 10th Lord Mercury is with the 5th Lord Saturn. There is a Rajoga between 10th and 5th Lords. So, basically successful career. And the 10th Lord aspecting 10th is a blessing for 10th. And that planet is Mercury. Mercury shows logical, analytical kind of careers, especially software, computers, etc. So, that is possible. And now, how about from Moon and Sun? Does Mercury have a link with the 10th house from those? If you see the Surya Lagna, from Surya Lagna, does Mercury have anything to do with the 10th house? Not really. But the thing is, if you see the second house, he is in the second house. Mercury is in the second house from Sun, and moreover, he is aspecting the 6th Lord. From Sun, the 6th Lord is Mars, and Mercury is dispositor and aspecting. When you dispose somebody and aspect him, your power on that person is stronger. When a planet owns the house occupied by another planet and aspects it also, it is like landlord who keeps visiting you now and then. So he basically has former control on you. So Mercury is having a link on the 2nd and 6th house from Sun. From Moon, how about from Moon? From Moon, he is the 2nd Lord aspecting 2nd, and he is with the 10th Lord, Saturn. Right?
He's the 5th Lord once again with Saturn.
He is the 5th Lord. Excellent point. He is the 5th Lord from Moon with the 10th Lord Saturn, giving Raj Yoga from Moon. Just like from Lagna.
In all the three different aspects, his 5th Lords are either in the 10th house or in conjunction.
So overall, this is a chart of somebody who will be quite successful in career.
Is it what is the 5th Lord? What is it with Moon?
Taking from Moon, Mercury is the 5th Lord. And he is with Saturn, who is the 10th Lord. So 5th and 10th Lords being together Raj Yoga is present from Moon also. It was present from Lagna, if you remember. Same planet, Saturn and Mercury. So same planets are giving the same yoga from Lagna as well as from Moon. And his point is from Sun, the 5th Lord is in the 10th house. Basically, there is no 5th and 10th Lords are not together, but the 5th Lord is in the 10th house. So there is basically link between 5th and 10th. 5th is fame, success, recognition, and 10th is career and the work that you do. So he will be recognized for the work he does and he will be successful. So overall, this is the chart of somebody who will be successful. And how is the Dasha right now? Jupiter Dasha is running. So the Dasha before that, Rahu may or may not have been great, but Jupiter Dasha should be a really good Dasha. Why? From Lagna, he is the Badhaka Lord in the 12th house, which is a good placement for Badhaka Lord to be. From Moon, he is the 8th and 11th Lord, he is in the 4th house. But the thing is, more importantly, he is a dispositor of the Rajoga, Saturn Mercury Rajoga and aspect kingdom. And same from Lagna. From Lagna, he is the dispositor of the Saturn Mercury Rajoga aspect kingdom. So he can basically, as the dispositor of the Rajoga, he can trigger that. And from Sun, he is the 5th Lord in the 10th house. So the bottom line is, he has a link with the 5th house and 10th house from all the three differences. From Sun, he is the 5th Lord in 10th. From Moon, he is the dispositor of the 5th Lord and 10th Lord and aspects them. From Lagna, again he is the dispositor of the 5th Lord and 10th Lord and he aspects them. So, this is the Dasha that will give him recognition, success, good work, etc. So this is a good dasha for him. This is Jupiter dasha. How is the Antardasha right now? No, right now. Mercury. 2011 right now. So this year Mercury Antardasha is running. So how is this Antardasha? Is this conducive to a change? Is this dasha conducive to a change?
Well, Mercury is with the fifth lord.
Yeah. Right. For change, let us say some Dusthana has to be involved, 8th house or something. And from Lagna, he 8th lord is Mars, and Mercury owns and disposes him and aspects him. From Moon, he is in the 8th house. From Sun, he is the 8th lord aspecting 8th. So Mercury has a link with the 8th house from all the three differences. So during this Antardasha, is there a chance of change of job? Yes, there is a chance of change of job. When is this still? Oh, there is still some more time. So good. So till 2013 December, February, this Mahadasha, Antardasha will run. So in the next 14-15 months, there is a strong chance of change of job because the 8th house is triggered by Mercury based on all the three differences.
Yeah, but the Pratyantardasha is over though. But it's not the Antardasha, but Pratyantardasha of Mercury is over.
That's okay. I'm only looking at Antardasha now.
No, you look which particular result?
The same
Okay.
of Mercury.
Well, the thing is, if you are looking at Pratyantardasha, then there can be a stronger candidate than even Mercury. Who is a stronger candidate for giving a change in this job? From Lagna, 8th lord, Mars in the 10th house.
Mars.
8th lord in the 10th will give a either setback in career or change in the job. So Mars. And from Sun, he is a Lagna lord in the 8th house. From Moon, he is aspecting the 8th house. So compared to Mercury, Mars is even a stronger candidate to give a change of job.
And the A8
And Mars,
Jan 2012.
yeah, so it is going to start early next year. Give or take a couple of weeks. So basically, second half of January till March, 2012 March. So the first 3-4 months of the next year can bring a change of job. It's not a bad idea to look for a change of job. It need not be in a different company, maybe in the same company or maybe in a different company, but some kind of disturbance or change in career is quite possible during that time because Antardasha is conducive and Pratyantardasha is even more conducive. So let us see the annual chart.
Well, because this all happening in Jupiter Mahadasha,
Yeah.
Jupiter being in 12th, though it's like 7th or in 12th, like
Yeah.
that. And so it can be in a yes, faraway place.
Well, yeah, Jupiter is aspecting the 12th from Moon, he is in the 12th from Lagna. So basically during Jupiter period the career can be in a faraway place, yes.
So he came in 2006 here?
He may have come earlier. Because if you want to see when he came, better look at the Chaturthamsha. Based on Chaturthamsha, my guess is he probably came earlier, much before 2006. Okay. So, how is the annual chart of this year? 2011 Tajka chart. How is the 2011 Tajka chart?
So one observation here,
Yes.
The Lagna in D10 did not change because of our timing in D7, right?
No, it didn't change.
I don't think so.
It didn't change. So it was irrelevant basically. That was just a theoretical exercise. But the thing is, suppose it was on the border in both the charts, then that could have helped this. So that is why we wanted to just verify. But the thing is, suppose something is wrong, like the day is wrong. They forgot the date and gave a wrong date or wrong month or month and date are reversed. Of course, here it's not possible, but something like that happened. It is a good idea to check at least a couple of events. That is why whenever you collect any data, take 2 or 3 events. Without it, data may or may not be useful in general as a thumb rule. So, how is the current year's Tajka chart?
D10.
Hmm?
Taking a look at D10 or
Yeah, D10.
Lagna Lord.
Career, D10, and look at the Vimshottari of D10. Same as in the natal chart. Yeah, go ahead. How is this year? Is there a chance of change in the job?
Yes, sir. Lagna Lord.
Lagna and 10th Lord, Jupiter. Lagna is Pisces, 10th Lord is Jupiter, and of course Lagna Lord is also Jupiter. Where is he?
In the 8th house.
In the 8th house of change. Just as we said Mars, the 8th Lord in the 10th house in the natal chart, here 10th Lord is in the 8th house. It's basically the reverse of the same thing. 8th Lord in 10th or 10th Lord in 8th shows either change in job or a disturbance in the job, like getting laid off or...
The 9th Lord is also in the 8th house.
9th Lord is also with him, so it's probably a good thing basically. It's a Rajoga between them. So this is probably not forced on him, but this is a good change, fortunate change. So, when is a good period? Well, Ketu is a good period. Jupiter, of course. Jupiter is the 10th Lord in age. When is Jupiter Dasha? 2012, January 30 till March 17. Interestingly, this coincides with the Mars Antardaya. That was Jan 19 to March 6 or something. So this coincides basically. So, very likely end of January, February and March. Beginning of March, first half of March. So Jan second half, February and March first half is a very likely period for change of job based on the Tadika chart as well as natal chart.
One 9th Lord is in the 11th house. The other 9th Lord is in the 8th house. With the Lagna Lord, and so
On the 10th
some
Lord.
kind of a sudden change and a gain.
Yeah. It may be a sudden also.
Because the
And
9th
eighth
Lord
house
is
is
also
involved.
with the 8th Lord.
Yeah.
In the 11th house.
Right. So, my suggestion is, my prediction is, there is a chance of change of job during the current year. Current year meaning
next few months.
From this birth to next birthday, August to August, that year. And especially January, February, March are conducive. So you can start looking for a job, start going for interviews or send out his resume. This is a good time basically to get started, because if he starts now, it will take a couple of months.
Holiday season anyways.
And holidays will put a dampener on the interview process. So it's not a bad idea to get started now. So good luck to him.
Thank you.
And it will be a good change. Because based on the Vimshottari, natal Vimshottari, Jupiter and Mercury is running. They are involved in Rajokas. And based on the annual chart also, 9th Lord and 10th Lord are together. That is also a Rajoga. And also Lakshmi Yoga is there. So this is basically, it will be a positive change. So good time for a change. Any other questions, comments?
This is a very common question a lot of people ask about,
Yeah.
Will I go back to India?
Yeah. Right.
That's a common thing that people
Yeah.
ask.
What you should look for is either any planet who's making the 9th and 12th weak
And fifth strong.
and Lagna and 5th strong. Such planet will basically is likely to take back
In D4.
in D4. Yes. So look for such a combination.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments? Actually, Mimshamsa is very interesting. This person has some spiritual potential. Any other chart? Stop the recording. Okay, we have one more chart. Give me the data.
Date of birth,
Yeah.
25th October
October 25th,
1968,
1968,
morning 5:30.
5:30 a.m.
19 what?
68,
Place?
Andhra Pradesh, Ongole.
Ongole.
What time?
Andhra Pradesh, India.
5:30 a.m.
5:30 a.m. I'll repeat the data, 1 second.
It will be like 10 minutes early or I don't know. It's a Friday, I think.
Thursday.
It's Thursday. It's Friday.
Okay. Well, it says Thursday because sun hasn't risen yet. Right? 5:30 a.m. If you look at the sunrise, it was at 6:05. So this was half hour before sunrise. And according to the Vedic calendar, at midnight basically weekday doesn't change. It changes at the sunrise. So it was still technically Thursday. But your folks may have told you Friday because it was morning. At midnight already Friday came for them. So based on the Vyavaharika method it is Friday, but based on Vedic reckoning it is still Thursday.
What is the name we can say it under?
Nagaraj. N-A-G-A or E-H-A.
Okay. So let us see.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
Lagna is on the border of Virgo and Libra, right? If you in the Rashi chart, if you see 3 minutes 22 seconds later, Lagna will be Libra. If the time was off by 3.5 minutes, and if the time is correct, it's not off by 3.5 minutes, then it is Virgo. So it is basically at, if you look at the longitude, it is 29 degrees 12 minutes. So very close to 30 degrees. So these are the fag end of Virgo.
We can also see, now that he is here, we can also see this being Lagna being on the border of Virgo or this.
Yeah.
We can see his nature and see if he fits into Virgo or
Yes, nature, how he looks, etc. Huh?
physical characteristics.
Scorpio then?
Huh?
They say it's Scorpio, right?
That's your moon sign.
Scorpio is your moon sign.
Moon sign.
That is Scorpio. That is in the middle of Scorpio. But Lagna, there is another thing called Lagna. Now the thing is, what do you, based on his physical features, forget about his attitude, we don't know. We haven't really talked to him
One
about it.
thing we can ask him is if he is very balanced person or is it a dual fickle-minded person. Because
Why?
Because
Fickle-minded is
Virgo is not fickle-minded.
No,
No,
Virgo is
Virgo is intellectual,
Dual sign
analytical,
Mercury.
logical. Huh?
dual sign and the Mercury wants it. So
Still.
we have an influence of
Virgo, not all Virgo people are fickle-minded.
fickle-minded.
Virgo and fickle-minded is not a good statement. But Virgo people are analytical, logical.
More logical.
Huh?
Logical.
Yeah, more logical.
He has Mercury, Lagna Lord in Lagna.
Lagna Lord in Lagna. Actually very strong. So very intellectual, analytical. Do you consider yourself an intellectual, analytical, logical kind of
I
person? Or
consider analytical and logical more to be on the perfectionist side, but
perfectionist, okay. That is the other. Correct word is more than what you said. Kanya Lagna people, several people that I know, including myself, are perfectionists. Things have to be a particular way. And unless you overcome it through sadhana, basically, you will feel so uncomfortable when something is not in a particular way. So that is basically,
that's my nature.
yeah, that shows Kanya. And what I wanted to tell you actually was, such information may or may not be forthcoming and the person may mislead you also, right? Somebody may think he's a great intellectual, but he may actually be the best person on earth. So, look at the physical features. More than attitude, because we don't really know the attitude. You have to ask him. Look at his physical features. If you look at his physical features, if he is Libra Lagna, right? If he is Libra Lagna with Venus with Moon, Venus-Moon combination is a powerful combination in the second house. With that combination, and no other strong dominating influence on Lagna, there is the vegetated sun. So Venus should dominate his personality. He should look really
Very fair.
handsome, very fair, handsome, and moreover, strong Venusian influence on Lagna without any other important influences will give really big eyes. Such people will have big eyes. And his eyes are not really that big. These are medium to small kind of eyes. And those are given by Kanya only. Those are given by Mercury. So, this is basically looking at the face itself. Looking at the eyes and the face. It seems more like the Kanya rather than Tula.
Mercury.
And the thing is, Jupiter and Ketu are in Lagna with Mercury. Right? Mercury is in Lagna and Jupiter and Ketu are also there. So the Ketu influence basically makes him either, Ketu with Lagna Lord can make either slightly spiritual or slightly eccentric, basically, slightly unpredictable. So that is the other thing we can say. Now the thing is, Lagna has Papakartar Yoga. Sun and Mars are having Katriya on Lagna. So there are some interesting combinations. Let us jump to Chaturthamsa. He wants to know again, one second, let me save the question. Will I go back to India? When did you come here?
I came
US.
in 99.
Huh?
I first came in 97,
Okay. Came to US in 1997 when?
January.
January. And then
And then went back in by the end of the year. And then came
went back in 1999, 97. Came back when?
99 October.
October 99. Okay, so he first came to US in January 97, but October 99 is the permanent move basically. Let us see if it basically makes sense. And then we can be confident of the Chaturthamsa chart, and then we can make a prediction. Okay, how is... Let us see the time he permanently...
4 minutes.
Pardon me?
26 minutes and 4 minutes difference.
Yeah. Forget about that. Most likely the time is right. Let us see if it makes sense. Instead of seeing is it this or this, let's assume that this is this. See if it makes sense. If it doesn't, then we have to change the time. Because this, based on Rashi we are convinced. See, the Chaturthamsa border is the same as the Rashi border. If Chaturthamsa, that 3-minute border changes, Rashi also changes to Libra. So,
The exact time I'm not sure. It will be 5 to 5:30 also. So
okay. That's fine. The only question is, it's not forward basically. It's not 5:35. Then things will change. But it doesn't look like it, based on what we have seen. Okay, in Chaturthamsa, in that case, let's look at the leeway. The leeway is 3.5 minutes forward, which we ruled out based on the looks, etc. But backward can be 27 minutes. So if the time changes from 5:30 to, let's say, 5:03, then
still we are fine.
it will be the previous one. It will be...
Likely that it's error by...
No, but he's saying it's any time between 5 and 5:30. He's not
It's
sure.
not close to 5, it is close to 5:30.
Okay, it's closer to 5:30. So unlikely. But let us just see. The dasha that brought him abroad is Jupiter. Towards the fag end of Rahu period, he came, but he basically went back. When Jupiter came, he basically permanently came, and he is, for most of the Jupiter dasha, he's been living here since 99. See, 99 February is when Jupiter dasha started. And in October he said he came. So soon after the dasha started, all the paperwork, everything started moving when he came here. And he is living here. Why did Jupiter bring him abroad? See, as a matter of fact, if the Lagna was the previous one, that would be Pisces. Jupiter is hardly likely to bring him abroad. He is the Lagna Lord in the 7th house. Now, he is the Badhaka Lord. Jupiter is the Badhaka Lord, also 7th Lord of long journey, and with the 9th Lord Rahu. Rahu is the 9th Lord of flourishing abroad, and also Rahu is the Karka for living abroad. He was foreign things. So Jupiter is with Rahu, and he is the Badhaka Lord, he is the 7th Lord, he is with the 9th Lord. So he is connecting all the parameters. Badhaka house, 7th house, 9th house. Only house not connected is 12th house. But the thing is, he is basically, he is aspecting the 12th. And he is the disposer of the 12th Lord. So from Lagna he is connecting everything. How about from Moon? From Moon, he is the dispositor of the 9th Lord and Badhaka Lord. From Moon, the Badhaka Lord and dispositor Saturn is in Jupiter's house. Right? And Jupiter is also aspecting the 12th Lord Mars. And he is with Karka Rahu. Of course, that is irrespective of the reference. Now from Sun, he is the 12th Lord. In the 9th house. 12th Lord in the 9th house with Rahu. Case closed. And he is aspecting the Badhaka Lord, Mars. So he is connecting everything basically. 9th, 12th and Badhaka very powerfully, especially from Sun and Lagna. And from Moon also, but little weaker. From Lagna and Sun, it is very strong. So Jupiter, there is no wonder that Jupiter Dasha brought him abroad. Right?
And that until 2014.
And this Dasha is running till 2014. Is there a chance of going back now? Let us see, the current period is Mars Antardasha. Right? Does Mars have anything to do with the 5th house or Lagna? Not really from Lagna. From Moon, he is the 12th Lord in Lagna. So even though he is in Lagna, he is the 12th and 7th Lord. He won't take back. From Sun, he is the Badhaka Lord aspecting Badhaka Sthana. Again, he can't really take back. Unlikely. Rahu, he is the 9th Lord from Lagna. He is in the 9th from Sun. Very unlikely that. So, until the end of Jupiter Dasha, it is very, very unlikely to go back to the motherland. How about Shani Dasha that comes later? Can Shani take him back?
He's in the
He's in the Badhakasthana from Lagna, he is the 9th Lord from Lagna, from Moon he is the 9th Lord, from Sun he is in the 12th house. So, bottom line is again like in the previous chart, this doesn't seem like a chart where, especially the current Dasha and the next Dasha don't really show going back to the motherland. So, the chance is very, very, very low. Basically, horoscope doesn't indicate it. And you have to really put your free will and exert your free will to do that. If you basically leave things the way to your destiny, if you don't basically make your free will dominate destiny, you will end up staying here. It is very unlikely that you will go back. So that is our reading.
Till 2014?
No, even after that.
2033.
But Mercury comes in 2033. He is the Lagna Lord. Even though he is debilitated, he is the Lagna Lord. He doesn't have much to do with 9th, etc. He may, being the Lagna Lord, all sudden, and even from Moon, he is the 5th Lord aspecting face, right? So there is a chance that after 2033, he will basically retire in India.
Retirement he will go back.
Jupiter still being the Badhaka Lord is having an aspect on.
I know. Even then he may stay abroad. But the best opportunity, as I see, is after 2033. So, well, good luck. Any other questions you have?
Any changes in job?
Changes in job. Let us see. What do you do for a living?
I'm a software engineer.
Software engineer? First, let's see if it makes sense.
Consultant means traveling job.
Oh, okay. Consultant travels. Okay. Let us see the Vinshotri Dasha of D10 and just go to D10. How much leeway do we have in D10? Basically the same. So this is basically expected to be accurate. Now, how do you explain the software career? How do you explain the software career?
I'm in consulting actually.
Okay. Consulting relating to software and computers?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you done any program management kind of thing?
Program management.
Okay. That's what I would expect, yeah. Because Venus is in 10th house. Venus will show some kind of management of various details. So program management kind of things Venus shows. But why is he in the field of computers? Well, Ketu. Apart from Mercury, Ketu is the other karaka for computers and software. So 10th Lord is Ketu. So Parivartana between 10th and 9th Lords is there. Did you see that? Venus and Ketu, 9th and 10th Lords have a Parivartana. So that is a powerful Rajoga. So overall he will have a successful career. That is one thing you can say. Especially if those dashas are running. Unfortunately that's not the case here. Those dashas are not running. But still, the yoga means successful career. Now from Sun if you see, the 10th Lord is Mercury himself. Right? And from Lagna, from Moon, the 10th Lord is Venus, but 10th is containing Ketu. So from all the references, there is either Ketu or Mercury influence.
The time again, just to be sure, it is
5:30 a.m.
Oh, you get to today's date.
sorry, this is
You made a chart for today's date?
okay. All right. Sorry, this is good.
No, that's okay. Okay, so based on all the three references, either Ketu or Mercury influence is there on the 10th house. So that explains the software career. And Venus is strong. Venus influence is there strongly based on 2 of the references out of 3. So some kind of program management, that kind of thing also makes sense. So overall, what we know about his career is making sense based on this Dashamsha. Now let us see how is the current period. What is the Dasha running right now? Jupiter. T10 Vinshotri Dasha is that of Jupiter. And the Antardasha right now is Venus.
2011 to 2014.
Jupiter, Venus is running right now. Okay. Jupiter, Venus.
Venus is 4th and 9th.
How is this period? How is Jupiter Dasha overall? Well, from Lagna, Jupiter is in the 5th house. Even though he is a functional malefic, the bottom line is he is the 2nd and 11th lord of money and gains, and he is aspecting 11th. So lord of the house of gains aspecting the house of gains shows basically doing well financially. So 11th is strong, and 11th shows the end result, basically the profits, the material gains. And from Moon, Jupiter is the 3rd and 12th lord aspecting the 12th house, and he is from Moon. He is basically he is a dispositor of the 9th lord. He disposes the 9th lord and aspects the 9th. Right?
Yes, sir.
And also he aspects the 11th lord Ketu. And from Sun, again he aspects the 11th house. From Sun he is in the 7th house, he aspects the 3rd house and 11th house. Of course Lagna also. So overall if you see all these things, what I am trying to say is, the Kama Trikonas are strong. 3rd, 7th, 11th are being activated by Jupiter based on all the 3 references. So that could explain the contract work, and also basically that shows materially doing well in the career.
And traveling.
And travel also makes sense. But how is the current, overall Jupiter Dasha is a good Dasha, but how is the current Antardasha of Venus? From Lagna, he is the Yokarka in the 10th house, right? From Moon, he is again Yokarka in the 11th house. So from Lagna as well as Moon, he is very auspicious planet. From Sun, he is a functional malefic, but giving Viprit Rajoga. 6th lord in the 12th house, giving Viprit Rajoga. So he is well placed from all the 3 differences. He gives success from all the 3 differences. So bottom line is, there is nothing to be concerned about. If the person came to you, he is asking about a change, but I think that may be because he just wants a change, or it may be because he is concerned about his current job and worried. Here, whether he is concerned or not, what we can say is, things are fine basically. The current Antardasha, there is no big problem. This current Antardasha is a good Antardasha actually. So his career will be doing fine right now. This is a good time for career. Now, is there a chance of change right now? Change will come from Dusthanas, 8th house, 12th house, this kind of thing, 3rd house. So Venus, like we said, from Lagna, does it have anything to do with the 8th house? Not really. From Moon? Not really. From Sun? Not really. So he is not really showing any change per se. He is just showing things continuing well, and this is a good period. So he shows doing better, doing well, and maybe even doing better wherever you are, getting a better position, or you're getting more benefits, or pay increasing, or getting recognized. But it does not seem like this is a good time for a change. So,
But after 2014,
yeah.
Sandasha comes, we should be careful. There is
Okay, why?
change in that.
Why? Sun,
Comes to
from
Sun.
Lagna, he is the 7th lord in the 11th house, with the 8th lord Mercury.
That is
So he is with the 8th lord. From Moon, he himself is the 8th lord.
For service, the 7th lord is not there.
For me?
For the service point of view, 7th lord is
He is always consulting.
Right. But what I am trying to see now is the common link between the 3. Okay? Look for the common link between the 3. From Moon, Sun is the 8th lord in the 12th house.
in 12th.
Yeah, 8th lord in the 12th. And from Lagna, he is with the 8th lord. Right? So, Sun basically is having a link with the 8th house from both Lagna and Moon.
right.
And from Sun himself, does he have a link with the 8th house? Well, he has 3/4 aspect. So he has 75% aspect on the 8th house. So he has a link with the 8th house based on all the 3 differences. So that can be a period of either some kind of setback or some kind of change. So
It's only a short.
short under the side. It's only like 9 months. Yeah. So 2014 seems like a period of change. So until then, it may be a good idea to basically continue whatever you are doing, wherever you are. So good luck.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Can we ask him how 2008 was Jupiter?
Career? Yeah.
2008 I made a job change.
Mercury was involved.
Yeah. So why did you say that? Why did you suggest that? Because Mercury is the other planet who is with Sun.
Right.
And from Lagna he is the 8th Lord. From Moon he is with the 8th Lord now. It's the reverse basically. Right? And of course from Sun he has a 3/4 aspect on the 8th house. So his point is, if Sun can give a change, Mercury can also give a change. So 2008 is when Mercury period was running. So there is a, but the thing is, bottom line is both Mercury and Sun, they are well placed from all the three differences. So yeah. So this is basically a, even in 2014 there may be a change, but it will be a good change. There is nothing to be concerned about. Overall, this is a successful chart. This is a chart of successful career. And if you were to recommend one remedy to him, one prayer to him, what will you recommend for career? For basically more success in career? Well, from
Venus, sir?
Venus, from Lagna as well as Chandra, Venus is Yogarka, right? And even in the Rashi chart, he is the 9th Lord aspecting 9th house, showing fortune. So, based on both, worshipping Venus is a great idea.
I guess he has come to the right person.
So, Venus is Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi. So, Lakshmi Ashtotram, Lakshmi Ashtakam, Sri Suktam, Lakshmi, any prayer of Lakshmi. Best is Mahalakshmi Ashtotram. Do you know it? Prakutim Vikutim Vidyam, that one. If you can chant it, the only thing is, if you just chant it once or twice, it doesn't really, you want milk to become sweet, you have to put a couple of spoons of sugar, not just one basically, one pinch, not even pinch, one molecule of sugar, that won't help. So similarly, you want some benefit from any prayer, you have to spend like half hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour like that. So if you can spend half hour every day or every Friday, or 1 hour every Friday, or half hour every Friday, chanting the Lakshmi Ashtotram as many times as you can, it can do wonders to your career. Your career is as such, it's not like you have any big problem that I foresee. It's actually a smooth career, relatively smooth career, and it will be even better if you worship Lakshmi. And Lakshmi is actually in general good for various things in life. If you look at Navamsha, for example, see guys, look at Navamsha. See, Navamsha, he has Virgo rising in lot of charts, right? In Navamsha also he is the 9th Lord of fortune, and Dharma in marriage, and he is in the 2nd house of family. And in Saptamsha he is the 9th Lord, basically protection to the children. So if he worships Lakshmi, she will protect the children, protect the career, protect the marriage, protect so many things. In general, he increases fortune in life. So it is the most appropriate prayer. So Mahalakshmi. Okay. Any other questions, comments?
Does that generally apply?
Mandi and A6 with the Venus, does it make any difference?
Mandi and?
Mandi is and A6
Yeah?
in the Dashamsha.
Yeah, one second. After we started refining our knowledge, we went to Surasiddhanta, Sudarshan Chakra, all these, we are not really using Mandi, right?
Yes,
Are we?
Mandi.
So,
Forgot Mandi.
yeah, the bottom line is Mandi, Gurika, these things need some more work. We are